Okay kids, now here we are at the Scientology slave exhibit. As you can see, the slaves were crammed onto buses where they were taken to the main prison camp known as the Int base, where they were forced to work for no pay.
Any waking hour was spent working.
Many of these slaves were young children who spent their days doing manual labor in the hot desert sun. They could never see their parents and they were deprived of any education.
Adults, foreign nationals are kept there, basically held prisoner.
From the age of 6 to 12, Jenna lived here.
I lived in the garage for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
When I was 12 until I was 18, I saw my mom 2 times.
A place where children and adults are said to be punished.
Child abuse.
Child labor.
Absolutely.
Child being enslaved.
It was like 6:30, wake up.
It's like in a prison. Someone come in, time to get up, security guard, 10 minutes, wash, dress, and then you're outside standing.
We lived in dormitories, and I would only see my parents once a week.
The compound where they were held was surrounded by a double barbed wire fence. And as a punishment, some of the slaves were sent to a place called the Hole, where they were treated like animals.
The entire property is surrounded by large, high fences with razor barbed wire atop every single fence, with security cameras, high-powered floodlights, motion detectors every 10 feet on the fence.
Absolutely not physically possible. Couldn't make it past security. The windows were barred.
They worked all day long, scrubbing toilet bowls with toothbrushes and digging holes in human waste.
Punishment program and have compared it to a labor camp.
You work there, you live there, you never leave.
The head slave master was named David Miscavige. He lured in celebrities and used them to gain power and protection.
Is famously close with the world's best-known Scientologist, Tom Cruise.
The most dedicated Scientologist I know.
Miscavige is known to be a volatile, demanding leader.
If anyone dared to escape the prison camp, he would take any means necessary to stop them.
They count you just like they do in jail. They count how many people are there, make sure no one is missing.
The staff that do manage to escape are hunted down like animals and recovered.
Because everyone had rifles, semi-automatic, fully automatic rifles.
In 2010, the FBI began an investigation on David Miscavige for human trafficking.
Trafficking investigators for the FBI. The agents spent more than a year examining conditions at Scientology's California compound, including the Hole.
He was very cruel to the slaves, and he beat them when they did not live up to his satisfaction.
Beatings and humiliations carried out by the leader of the Church of Scientology.
David Miscavige actually physically strike other staff members.
There was a beating every day.
And then they were beaten?
Yes, they were beaten.
Like slaves in a slave camp, and literally beats them down?
Were you used to, in your life, getting beaten up? Was that something you were used to?
No, never.
And you were a 40-something-year-old woman.
To many things that I'll never, ever be able to erase from my mind.
Miscavige found particular pleasure in abusing women and young children.
I never agreed to have an abortion.
In some cases, sometimes you're made to stand in a trash can and water's poured over you.
That happened to you?
Yes.
Now, before we continue, are there any questions?
So he's in jail now, right?